We are live now.
Okay. Hello and welcome everyone to Digital Futures tutorial session. Yet another session in the new year. Wishing everyone, our audience joining from everywhere across the world, a very happy new year. Today we are delighted to have XKool Technologies and team giving this wonderful tutorial. Before we begin, I would just like to remind everyone about our upcoming tutorial as well. The registrations link would be available soon. This session would cover some of the basics of C# scripting. Again, another very interesting session. For those who are joining us for the first time, all our tutorial sessions are available in our YouTube library. And without further ado, I would now like to invite Vanu and her team to present us with this tutorial. Before we begin, I would take this opportunity to give a short introduction to Vanu. Vanu, he is the founder and CEO of XKool Technology, co-founder Future Architecture Lab, and a former OMA senior project architect. She has attained an MSc in Architecture and Urban Design from Delft University of Technology, Berlage. Currently, she is a PhD candidate in direction of AI and architecture at Florida International University. She is an adjunct professor of Masters of Urban Design, School of Architecture at the University of Hong Kong. Her present focus is on technology research, software development, and the promotion of architectural intelligence in industry. Vanu, the screen is all yours now.
Thank you, Behavlin. It is my honor to be here today, and Happy New Year to everyone online. And it is today we were gonna share what we do as XKool. So I'm gonna share my screen first, so everyone can see it.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna play it. Is it the full screen play now? Sorry. Can you see it's a full screen play?
Yes. Now we can see.
Okay, cool. Okay, today we're gonna introduce our major tool called as XKool Design Cloud. I will give the introduction, and later my team, Jackie, Jiaming, and Yong, gonna present the tutorial for all the audience. First of all, I'm gonna introduce what we do as XKool. We are using the AI and the relevant technologies to help to prove the design into a artificial intelligence added design age. This is what we are trying to do, because we are thinking currently, if we only design with the traditional way and the traditional tools, it might limit our let's say, not just the technology, but also limit our thoughts. Yeah, this is what we're trying to do. So I'm gonna share a few backgrounds of what we do. First of all, this image you see, the right side is some night views of the building, the right is the, left is the day views, and the right side are the live views. And all those views and the images are being generated by the, again, and which is be done by XKool with over 100,000 architectural data. And you can see the quality of those outcomes are quite good, as you cannot really tell is it really be designed or be constructed in the reality, or it's just be generated as the final as a image, let's say. And those kind of images can be done quite a lot. For instance, you can see here all those outcomes, but the outcomes are all in one style, and they are in one format as an image. But with design, it's not just using images, right? We are using graphics, we're using modeling. So this is the basic of using the AI. Let's say nowadays more about deep learning. And we are thinking all those AI technologies, not just including deep learning. It should be like be included broader technologies as the machine learning, also some algorithms, and all those things combining together as an AI system to help we achieve an AI application. So what you see previously and also this video is what we done in 2019 as this building does not exist, one of our paper outcome of how we using GAN to generate images. But from then on, we did quite a lot of analyzing and research about what AI can do. First of all is the discrimination, which is the beginning of all the, the first step of how we're using the data. And secondly is evaluation. We need to evaluate the target, not just in 2D, but also we can use 3D with other major data which can influence this object or this target. And thirdly, we can do reconstruction. As you may know, GAN is using in this be used in this reconstruction process, and can learning from like one let's say more precise category data and reconstruct the outcome of a relevant or very similar results. And fourthly is the generation. So there should be one system is combining all the algorithms and deep learning models and data, and into one system can generate, let's say, a design. So if we do a design, it is combining the machine learning with the biological learning, which is the human integrations or the human synergizing. So in this way, we can really combine those things together and doing the real design as we always do. So in 2018, we did this, this is what we can call architect, in one of the Shenzhen Biennale. And the creator of that Biennale was the colorizes from MIT. And we are one of the participants there. And we have this kind of interactive, let's say, interactive pieces there, and people can play with it. They can draw whatever they want and get the results on the right side. So you input one graphic, and the right side will be generated by the machine, by the AI, to get the image intention result. So this is how the kids doing it, and they can eventually print out the result. And we think using this way, you may not really design a building or a really architecture, but you can really inspire people or the kids or the young architects to get to know the architectural world. So we think it's a very significant way to educate the public, but also to help the junior architects or the students get into the world of architecture. But we were thinking we should bring this further to a more productive product, let's say, because we are a company and we are not just doing tool for fun. We are doing things for really, for the real thing. You have to, we have to make this platform or this tool be really useful. So we're starting to dig deeper into the field. Later, my team will also introduce this part as the we call the XKool UrbanTool, which is we're using the data scrumping and the data processing, and also do the training and visualization. We got the result of different, let's say this is a satellite maps, and using again to generate a new intention. And then the 3D model can be generated out from the results from one of the game models. So this is the basic logic behind one of our model. But today, data, for instance, you can select the different results on the right side, and there's several outcomes, and you can double check them and analyze them. So this is the first one we're gonna share. And oh, sorry, seems stopped. Okay. But the next thing is the previous ones are more see as a tool for urban design or the intention majorly. But if we gonna do more specific design in architecture field, what we should do. So XKool is not just researching the ages, but we are also really down to the and also we also down to the how to make them really into architects' daily productions. For instance, this is one very specific scenario when architects doing the let's say the master plan, and you just draw the master plan with the major base and also the allocations of the building layouts, and all the landscapes and the colors are be generated by our platform. So you may need to use a 1 or 2, I don't know, hours or days to get these results. But now you use this platform, you just need several minutes to get a different ideas of the landscape or the overall master plan intention. So this is a very useful tool for the architects and for the actually major for the architecture students and the junior architects for the concept design phases. Let's say if you are doing this for the or if you are using this for the final outcome as a landscape design, it is not there yet, to be honest, because you still need to dealing not just with the images, but also you need to dealing with the graphics. So the next one I'm gonna introduce is our major platform. We call them XKool Master Plan. Yeah, Master Planner on the right side. Yeah, and this one we did it from like 4 years ago till now. You upload your CAD file and your SketchUp files file as well, and you input the major parameters, for instance, the GFA, FAR, height limits, and also some of the your intentions. For instance, here the blue parts are the area you want to put high rise. And this lower area, you will put some villas or condos, and it will be generated for you. I mean, the machine will do the design for you, and also the backstage calculations. But also you can control the results by just editing it as you normally do in Rhino, in whatever CAD. So we actually put the entire design procedure online. So this entire platform is online. You don't have to download anything. And you can just generate the results by the machine for you. And you can also control the machine to get the results. And also yourself can edit it or just yeah, edit in details to get whatever you want. But the most importantly, we have the rule base in already embedded into this system. But the rule, what I mean is the rule of architectural design. For instance, here you can see we're checking the sun radiations, which is one of the regulation and code in China. All the design results has to obey it. But before all those things need to be calculated, be simulated, and be tested by the architects and some softwares, but now it's all done by the machine. And it will tell you if your building or one of the buildings are not obey the requirements or not. You can double check it, and it will automatically show to you which flat, I mean, in the elevation and or in 3 dimension, which is not okay. And this one here, to be honest, it's all in Chinese, but we will share it by Google Translate later. And you can share the results by your phone, by a QR code in 3 dimension. And also the facade, it can be generated by the machine. And also some analyzing outcomes, the visualization, you can also share it. So with all those visualizations, you can really see what is the different layers and different flats, what is the data behind it. And this is all the data of this scheme. So you don't have to calculate all your schemes, all your design strategies, but the rule-based and the AI-driven engine gonna design it for you. What I want to add for this part is now all the regulations and code are just Chinese rule-based. But the general rule of the architectural design is, and the machine learning part are for universal. So for this part, I think the scenarios are majorly can be applied in Chinese condition. Because it's more based on Chinese rules. But as my understanding, there are some similar regulations as China, as some other parts of the world, maybe like in Asia, some world of the Asia, and some parts of the Africa, Middle East, etc. I don't know, but you need to check your regulations if it's all the same with us. Okay. And the second part I want to share is in another scale of the design is we call the building master. It's in the building blocks scale. And in this scale, you can upload whatever you already have. We have the discrimination from the CAD, and just reading your CAD on, into our system. And it will have an online version of what you have. And we can also do the new design. For instance, here you can see, you do some bubbles or the diagrams, and you put them together, and the machine will guessing what you are trying to design in the button, and also recommend you what you want to have. This is a very smart one. I mean, the AI is behind it. It will just do the design for you. You just need to tell the machine what kind of a combination you want. And yeah, and it will generate the layout of the flat for you. And you can also edit it, all the core, and all the, like here, the windows and doors of the interior can be generated by the machine. So you don't have to draw everything for this flat. Like usually we have to calculate everything, but like here you also all the link fill of the furnitures and yeah, other details like MEPs. You don't have to draw it all. The machine will automatically generate all those things for you. And after the generation, we have it. Okay. And we can also editing it as we edit in any other softwares. We also have shortcuts. It's I think it's very smoothly you can use it, and you can also have the 3D views of those things. But the most importantly, as I mentioned previously, it will check if it's fit for the regulation for you. When it's turned into red, it will tell you you cannot put it there. And all those data of this flat will be calculated simultaneously on the right side. And you can also calculate different areas by the regulations, and also checking the entire data sets in somewhere of our platform. Later, my team will introduce it. But this one is also interesting, and here you will see when the kitchen is smaller than 3.5 square meter, it will tell you you cannot do that because the regulation does not allow. And all the results can be downloaded as a CAD file. You can open in CAD, and it's all be set in layers. And also you can do this colored outcome of the layouts, and download also in PSD format, and you can edit later on in Photoshop. So this BuildingMaster is majorly for this scale. It's very interesting. I mean, the entire process, you don't have to do it hand by hand, one by one by yourself.
我没有听明白。
Sorry, it's my Siri. and I think for this part, some of the not just the students but also the architects can using it to reduce your workload. You don't have to draw everything by yourself anymore. So the machine can help you a lot by generate the inside of the building for you. But I have to say, the previous MasterPlanner and this one BuildingCreator, these two are just for the residential style for now. But later on, we will have in other kind of architectural types. Yeah. So this is the major two. We will introduce you later. As a conclusion, I would like to say that the AI will help us to be faster, because the AI design can help us to avoid all manual works. You don't have to draw all the lines, building all the blocks by yourself by hand manually, but the AI can do those things for you. But be honest, what we do are not just for everything, every architectural types, but we're choosing for the massive production parts. As you may know that China is still under development. We have 61% of the urbanization. Comparing with the States or Europe, it's a 70 to 80%. We still have a long way to go. I mean, in terms of the urbanization. So faster is a choice of economy-driven results. And also efficient output. If you just watch the video, you will see that the entire thing is not just doing a graphic design, not just the image in your head and represent in the graphic, but also the data behind it. Previously, we have a problem of the design is we draw things out, but we don't know what it is. I mean, what is the area? What is the GFA? We have to calculate our drawing results. This is something we might not be good at, but today, with the help of the technology, we do the design and the machine will automatically calculate all the information for us. And also it's in real time. You can just immediately see what you're designing, and not just the graphic, but the data, also the impacts Also, the regulation checks will be real-time shared to you or represent to you. You can just double check it. And secondly, it can do better because it's a code compliance. It's all obey all the code or the regulations. You don't have to worry about your designs and not obey all those codes, especially for the juniors when you're starting to learn all the codes. For instance, in China, we have hundreds of major cities, and all those cities, they have different regulations. If you're doing a national design, I mean, national work of the architecture design, you may design for different cities, then you have to be familiar with the different codes from different locations. So this platform will help you to understand what is the different regulations, and machine will do it for you, not just to design it out, but also show you where are the places you are not obey it, and maybe next time you will understand it better, right? And secondly, it will show you more schemes. Later, my team will also share how many schemes or how to use it. If we do once of the generation, the machine will share quite a lot of the outcomes. So you are not just doing for once. And let me change another word to say, previously we design once, we get one results, right? But this time with the machine, with the XKool Design Cloud, you will get several results. And these several results are global optimal solution. It will find out, is this one the best fit for it or not? So this is the better parts. And also the exceeding or the exceed parts. Because previously, when we do design, we can just design with ourselves, with our team. But with this platform, with our design cloud, you can design to manufacturing. What does that mean is because we are also can link the manufacturing components requirements into the preliminary design. And the machine can do it for you. I mean, especially the very detailed ones of the prefabricated architectural types. You can design as with the Lego blocks. Yeah, that is the way we are thinking. In the future, we can do the design and do the design for manufacturing. And also you can do the data synergizing because we are online. This is an online platform. You can do the data synergizing with your team, with your client, or with your partners. And also the multidiscipline associations, you can work with others, and the data will be synergizing immediately, simultaneously. So, okay, this is my introduction, and coming is my team, Jackie, Wang Yong, Jiaming, to introduce our XKool design platform. I will start my sharing, and they will start another sharing. Thank you all.
Okay, hi everyone. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes.
Okay. Hello guys. Can you guys hear me? Can I also respond?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yes, yes. Are your speakers on mute or something?
Okay. Okay, I'm already sharing my screen. Can you guys see that?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Okay, so for the participants that's interest to our platform, then you guys can access our website, which is xkool.ai. And then here is the front page. because currently we still haven't fully translate it into English. So we have just for the first page we have translated in English, but for the rest it's still in Chinese. Okay, but I think you guys still can use the Google this translation to English feature to translate that into the language that you are familiar with by yourself. Okay, so at first you need to click here to sign up or sign in into the account. So for the non-China mainland visitor, you guys can use the email address to sign in rather than the mobile phones. So here is the let's translate into English first. Okay, so here is the project center. At first, it is recommended to create a new team because maybe you have several teams that have different projects. So let's say you key in task. Okay, so once you created a new team, then you can create several types of the projects according to our product module, which is the MasterPlanner, BuildingCreator, and the ColorMaster. So this 3 product module is all under the XKool Design Cloud. And so for the UrbanTool, that is an application that we are going to introduce at the final stage. So let's just to focus on these 3 product module first. So before you going to start projects, let's say the planning projects, it is recommended to upload your library first. So the library here, you can understand it as the block manager in AutoCAD or in Rhino. Here is the library for you to reuse any the material, let's say the floor plans or the housing units plans or the core plans that you can keep reusing it in several projects. So so we can upload the material first. We have provided the URL link, which include the Google Drive, and if you are in China, then you can use the Baidu Pans to download the sample files that we have already provided to the DigitalFUTURES OST. So you have, once you download the sample files from the Google Drive or the Baidu Pans, here is the files that you are going to see. So in this module, we are using the MasterPlanner. So you can see we are going to demonstrate these 4 files. So in these sessions, because we are going to upload our library, so we just need to upload these 2 first. And then you need to wait for a while for the uploading. Sorry, I just need to try again. So in this session, we just need to test 2 types of the floor plan. So I just upload these 2. Okay, and then so we can start to start a new project. So we are going to start a planning project first. So we can click here and then to start. Okay, so in these sessions, we are going to upload our site's property lines. So we can choose this and then choose this file and then open. So this sample files is in CAD format that we already set the elements in each the layer that we have already assigned. Let's say this is the setbacks for different types for different heights types of the buildings. This is for the 60 meters high, maybe it is for the high rise, and this is for the multi-story, and this is the property lines. And then we have a surrounding plots and then surrounding buildings layers in this CAD file. So once we have already assigned each semantics for each each elements in each layer, then we can go to the next steps to assign the specific locations of this CAD file. So let's say this sample is located in Hunan and Changsha City. And in Lugu towns. So the CAD file will automatically follow the locations you have choose. So and then we place our CAD exactly in the location. And then here is either for you to choose either you want to use our XKool systems surrounding buildings. So we click here and then we click sure. So right now we are going to set the several key targets indicators or the objectives. Let's say the sites area. This is the FAR, or the plot ratio, and this is this one multiple by the FAR, and then you will get the targeted the allowed constructible area. And here is the density, this is the greenery ratio, and here is the height limit. So this is normally the regular indicators or the restraint that's set by the governments. So here we can change to let's say 1.5, and then the height limit is 60 meters. And next we can set specifically about the functions, the functional area, because in the instructions documents, the government sometimes the governments will have the they will restrain you to build specific amounts or the maximum amounts of the area for the specific function. Let's say this is the residential, and here is the commercial, and here is the others functions. For example, the let's say the electrical room, the area that you to throw your trash, or the community center, the healthcare center, etc. And here is the indicator that you can set your targets. The configurations of your different area of your housing, and this is the significant indicators that that focused by the real estate. They are really care about these indicators in China. And here is the car park numbers, and here is the here is the indicators or the parameters that is about the regulations or the compliance check. For example, the first one is the regulations of the Changsha city, the urban planning standards. Then you can choose the versions of the regulation. And here is the sunlight standard that is strictly followed by the China regulations. Because this we already all default sets by from the standards itself, so we no need to change it again. So we can save the parameters. Okay. Okay. So we can use. So we can open up the surroundings buildings that we collected from the city data provider, and then you can change your view settings or the shadow settings here, just like the SketchUp. Okay, so after we have already set the target parameters for this project, then we can go to estimate how many buildings that we can put inside this plot. So this normally is the first stage that the real estate investor departments they are care about. So we can select the standardized or the assigned floor plan, the floor plans that is assigned by the real estate. So as a designer, maybe you need to quickly to check whether whether the real estate the requirements is okay or not. So we can go to okay, so then we can select the standardized floor plan that we have already uploaded at the beginning. Then maybe we can set this to 8 to 24. And then for the high rise, it would be have 48 to 60. And then we can, okay, and then here we go with our AI engines. Then we can quickly to have a rough the estimation scheme for the building numbers for the floor plans that we have assigned. So let's say for this scheme ones, we have the floor plan for this the building's number will be 27, and this one is 8. So let's say for this one is 13 and 12. So for the experienced designer or the urban planner, they actually can arrange or to lay out the buildings the buildings just according to the numbers. And this is just for the experienced designer. So for the unexperienced designer or the newbie, they can use this result and go to the next our generation module, which this is directly translated will be the global generation. Okay, so for example, as a newbie designer, I don't know how to put these numbers of buildings in this site, and it might have a lot of schemes. So I can try to use this. And then here is the more specific or detailed parameters that you need to set. So I can, let's say, trying to set, for example, for this building type, I want to make it can be connected by the same, by itself. For example, this building can connect it next to it. And this one I can set to 6 to 8. And this one is 16 to 18. So for the parameters here, it is recommended to test it reasonably, because if you key in if you doesn't reasonably key in the numbers here, and then it will not going to have a reasonable result. So you need to be careful to the parameters that you have set. And then I choose this is the fixed the orientations to the fixed just right the north and the south. And you can choose the layouting strategy here. So for this for now I will not going to change, and then I will click generate. So the system here is undergoing the generation. So normally it will take, for example, this is 16 minutes. So rather than keep waiting, then I can show you some of the results for the same sites. So this is still okay. We have one scheme here. Okay, so this is the same project that we have done earlier, because just in case it will have a slower generation outcomes. So just for a quick demonstrations, this is the result that AI engines has generated. So just for you guys for some review. Okay, we can go back here and then we can see this scheme. Oops. So here are the temporary schemes that is generated by our AI engine, and then the schemes will try to fulfill the objectives or the restraint that we have already set in the project settings. For example, we can see that in this indicators table, here is our targets FAR, and this one is the difference. So we can see that it will try to satisfy the objective that you have already set. So for the area that it will have still 150 meters square, that difference from your target area. So here is the density, and here is the base area. And then there are several data the data statistics also presented here. Okay, we now stopped our generations. Okay, we can because here is the temporary schemes, then we can try to save it just in case we lost it. So after we have saved as our scheme, then it will appear here in our schemes management panel. So this is the generation function for our global generation. And then here we are going to try another one. So we clear out our site, and here we can try to use this generation module, which is more considering the experienced designer. So the name of this module, if I translate it directly, it will call the lighting sketch. So it will allowing the designer to draw a specific generation area rather than the global generations model here to divide the area by the machine itself. So these functions will allowing more control power to the designer to define the generations area by the designer. So at first we can to set the building types again. And then remember we can just set the building numbers. And then the fixed north and south orientation. And here we can go to 18. Because this floor height is 54, which is still under our maximum floor height for this project, if you guys still remember, and the fixed north and south. Okay, we already set the buildings type, the floor plans here. Okay, now we can grow the area that, for example, as a designer, I think here is suitable for the multi-story building type. Then we can draw an area here, and then I can click C for the automatic closing the boundary. Okay, and then I can drag this one here. Okay, so you will see the machines will try to fix as much of the building's numbers as it can inside the assigned about the boundary. And then I back it and then I can draw another area for the high rise. Okay. And then just now there's an error because the system says there might be have a sunlight problem, so it will not allowing me to go next to go further. So I can open out the sunlight analysis and have a checking. Or I can delete some of the buildings that is unwanted. Or I can insert the building directly from the library. So because there's other designer also like to have a full controlling power, so they can try to insert the building by themselves and then to test our compliance checking function. So this is for the sunlight analysis. So the sunlight analysis result is quite different from the other countries. I think this is only available in the China sunlight analysis standards. And then so you can open up the regulations compliance checking. Okay, so here we have two the compliance checking results. This is all presented in green color, which is they all pass the compliance check. Okay, I can turn it off. And then we also have some analysis functions. For example, here we have the, I will call it a margin check. For example, I can click the buildings that I want to check. Either it will touch the building close to them. For example, this for this building height, because they are under 3 to 6 floors height. So maybe for the margin, it would be smaller. Let's say maybe 6. So I can set the longitude, the each side of the margins and the firefighting distance. Okay. Okay, so we can skip this part. So this is the method that we can to check either these two buildings are passing the margins checking. And we also have this feature that can calculate the distance between each building. And I think this is also an interesting feature because you can quickly directly to change the building's distance just to change the numbers here. For example, when I select the building, then it means that this is the building that I want to move. So I can change maybe to 40. So the building would moving according to the same directions of for this distance. And this is also the an easy way for the designers to adjust minorly to the final to the outcomes by the AI engine. And then so we also have some data visualization here to see, for example, for each range of the housing area, then it will demonstrate in different colors. So right now we don't, so we can open up the data visualizations. Because these two types the housing all is around this range, so it will demonstrate this is under the program and this is under the area. Okay, so for the area here, because we have some the visualization setting that haven't covered the area here, so we can also to set the range, for example, and click here to show the 14 range, and then for example this I set to higher a bit. And then I can set any color I want and then save it. There might be still some area that's still not covered. Okay, I refresh it again. Okay, here we have the color here. The white color here is means the core, so it will have no color. Okay, so here I think we have some here's the brief introductions about our master planner. Okay, here we can also have the facade visualizations. The facade here is not the final outcome. It is just for the quick show for a realistic presentations, and you can change the color here. Okay, so after we let's say we have decided this is the scheme we want, and then so we can have a automatically calculated indicators tables. And so normally without our platform, the designers have to calculate this in a different program, for example, Excel, one by one. So it is a very laborious work. So so this is I think is the star or the super power or feature for our products, that it can calculate measure the tables. And we can download any types of the files that we want. For example, this is the sunlight analysis drawings in PNG, and then this is the housing color drawing in PSD, and we have the DXF CAD drawings, the OBJ 3D model file, and DAE, which can be supported by the SketchUp. And here is the IFC that is supported by Revit. And this is the Excel, the indicators tables that we have demonstrated here. And I think the most interesting file that we can download is the PPT file. It will automatically collect our scheme and some brief introductions about the site informations, all compiled into one PPT document. Okay, the PPT file is still downloading, so I think we can skip this part. Okay, while waiting for the PPT downloads, so we are going to introduce another module, which is the building creator. Okay. Okay, we can go back and then we can open another project, because I forgot to open the. Okay, so so in this MasterPlanner, it can connect to the BuildingCreator program to we can go in the debug scale, which is the building scale, to adjust the size or the building. So we can select the building creator here, and then select the building that we want to adjust. Change to dark mode. So here is the standardized building plans. So in this building creator module, we can modify the size of this. Let's say I increase the width here. Change the size of the balcony. And then after that, I can go back to the MasterPlanner here. So it will have show the more detailed parameters, allowing me to change. But in this case, I will not going to change. Okay, so the size here, you can see that it already changed. So it shows how we designed this product module to connect us with each other for different scale modification. And from the MasterPlanner here, we also can directly go to the ColorMaster, which can help to colorize the site plans. Okay, I can change it to I can carry the surrounding information. Okay, and then I click this one, and then I select the area that I want to move into the ColorMaster module. let's say I choose this area, and then I click enter to go into the ColorMaster. So this is the loading bar, which help to generate the landscape elements, the site plans, annotation elements in the drawing. So we also need to wait. Okay, so besides waiting for the ColorMaster here, we can go back to the MasterPlanner and then to show some the synchronizations feature, which is the commands. So we can have a 3D commands in the projects. For example, here maybe it can set the comments in a 3D space. Let's say please change here. And then I can to share this the scheme into the outsider. So I can select this one, the share buttons. So at first I can select the schemes that I want to share for the outsider for review. For example, the designer want to share these 3 schemes to the real estate clients for them to have a review without the need to register to our platform. So we can choose either to check or to edit. So in this case, we will choose check, and that's either you want to use the password, and I choose no. And then here is the time durations. This is the forever, 7 days or 1 day. So I choose 1 day. So it will generate a QR code or the QR code here. So if you guys have the WeChat, you guys can scan the QR code here, and then it will lead you to H5, the HTML5 web page, and then you can try to see the scheme in a 3D mode. Also I can copy the URL here, and then I can put it in the website. So here is the only read web page that the outsider can have a look for this scheme. So still the same. The outsider also can check the indicator tables, the sunlight analysis outcomes, the housing distribution visualization, the field of view, the distance analysis, and the building height analysis. So just now, my comments is showing here. So as an outsider, I also can, let's say, to leave a comment here. So these comments can be commented in the 3D space. Okay, so I'm closing this sharing page and go back. Okay, so our colorized master plans is already done. It can automatically generate some the landscape and the annotation elements here. So right now it still cannot generate the roads. So if you want the roads, you can choose to ready the road information into your CAD file in your local computer, and then to upload the CAD file inside the ColorMaster tool, rather than to jump in from the ColorMaster. So we can go back to create a new ColorMaster file. So I create a new ColorMaster file. Here I can upload a ready-made CAD drawings. So in the sample input files, you can choose this as a sample files. So same as the ColorMaster, the CAD drawing that you need to colorize also need to organize the elements according to our layer systems. So it will allowing the computers to know the semantics of the geometry elements in your CAD drawing. Otherwise, it will not going to generate well. And then I can relocate the CAD file. And then to keep it waiting it to generate the landscape and the annotations elements. So meanwhile waiting, here I'm going to introduce some the styling. So here is the 4 types of the default style. And here is the style that you can also default, but you can customize them. Okay, so here the outcome is already done. So you can see that the trees and the pavements is all generated automatically according to the CAD file that you have uploaded. So you also can change the style. For example, I can choose this one, and then that's this one, and then I can copy the style, and then click this one, and then to customize the visual elements here, the trees and the texture. The size for the replaceable elements, it is suggested it is within 100 × 100 pixel, 50 KB, and the format is in PNG. So you can click the icons and then to replace the elements, and then also you can change the scalability and the rotating degree. So once you have already adjust here, and then you can to export it in either PNG, JPG, these kinds of the bitmaps, or you can download it in the layered PSD file. So in this case, I will not going to demonstrate the export file. If you guys are interested, you can try yourself. So for the ColorMaster here is also demonstrated finish. So the last part, the last second part is the BuildingCreator. So I can go back to the project center and then to create a new BuildingCreator file. So in this BuildingCreator, you also either can to start from scratch, or you can upload building floor plans. So I will demonstrate both. So at first, I will demonstrate to upload. So in this case, you can choose this file that we have already ready for you guys. So it will jump in also into a CAD recognitions page for you. So this is the CAD file that we also already arrange or to set the elements according to the layers, our layer systems. So I can click next. And then to assign which one is the housing and which one is the core. So so for this case, I need to assign the core. So this is the building, this is the staircase core, and this is the front or the common area, and this is the lift. So normally this will compose as a core tube. And then click Finish Settings. And I can go next because all the rooms is already set well. So the building creator here is actually allowing the designer to adjust the building for this kind of scale. So I can click here to hide my CAD drawings. So once it's uploaded inside our platform, this is not just pure CAD format. It is the format that format that the XKool has designed. Okay, so in this case, because this is all blanks inside the room, then I can use some generations feature to add more details. For example, I can generate the furniture because all the rooms we have already have the function label here. Our systems can recognize the language here, and then to understand it, either this is the balcony or the living room or the bedroom. So I can click this feature to automatically to generate the furniture inside all the plans. So just now the systems the system tell me I haven't assigned the door, so I need to set it first. So at first I need to click on the housing unit, and then I need to set this is the entrance. And this one also. Okay, and then I can generate the furniture. Okay, so you can see the furniture is automatically draw according to the program or the function label that's in the CAD drawings. So you also can maybe adjust it later yourself. Okay, so this is for the CAD drawing that you guys already made. So right now we are going to introduce when you doesn't have the designs, you want to design from scratch. So I can go to I can click this one and then to generate the building. So right now I'm jumping into the which we call the bubble diagrams mode. So I can drag the the space module, for example, the living room, the bedroom, the entrance here, to have a just roughly sketching the idea of the housing. So maybe for the living room, I can enlarge more, and then I put the bedroom here, and then also another bedroom. So you can see that here we have a panel, a smart panel that it will intelligently introduce the recommended ready-made the ready-made the housing unit floor plans according to the bubble diagram you are drawing here. For example, the kitchen I put here, the balcony for the living room. So when I keep trying to experiment here, the recommendation results will keep updating according to my move. So the bathroom, maybe another one. Okay, so I think according to the bubble diagram I tried here, maybe this one is the one I want. So when I click here, then we can directly get ready-made floor plans that inside our database. And it is also already have the some basic elements, for example, the walls, the doors, and the windows. So I click apply, then we can get a more reasonable designs of floor plans. And then also we can try to generate the furniture. Also, maybe we can try to generate the windows and doors, or we can try to insert some other elements. For example, the structure, the leaf, if we have the core plant here, plants, the staircase, and here we have a demo for the MEP generations, which is still under in the beta versions. Oh, sorry, so we can just skip it. Okay, so basically here is the quick demonstrations about the our 3 product module: the MasterPlanner, the ColorMaster, and the BuildingCreator. So at last, we can go into the X-UrbanTool that is mainly for a much more larger scale. And this part is going to introduced by my colleague Jiaming Kevin.
Okay, hello everyone. Thank you, Jackie. And so in the following session, I will show you guys how to use X-UrbanTool to generate a city design in several minutes with a few simple steps. The generation result can be used for the early stage of a urban design or city planning project. It is very convenient to verify your design concepts and ideas with the combination of planning parameters and 3D models in a very fast way. In many cases, designers also use our tool to test the limit scenario or corner cases in their design process. So here we use the example file, which you can find it in the Google Drive. And now we just simple use it. Let me find it. Simple file here. Okay, upload the file. If you want to use your own 3DM file, just replace your project elements into the example 3DM file and only need to make sure the layers can be matched. Okay, here after we finish our upload, you can see this is our base model. The first step is to set the global generation parameters. Just like the FAR, building density, building height limit, and so on. Our algorithm will assign the parameters for each single side plot automatically. Here you can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 side plot here in our project. And then maybe you can change some parameters like the FAR, we can change it into 3.5, and the maximum or the minimum FAR, we can change it into 3.0 and save the parameters. And the second parameter is we can draw a planar line. This planar guideline, why not to draw it? You can use double click here to draw it. So when you after your drawing planar guideline, you can press enter to save it and finish it. And here we can choose the subdivision model for each single side plot. But now we only open one algorithm for the side subdivisions. And here we can choose how if we want to generate it a facade or not. So we choose to generate it a facade. Okay, after we set all the parameters, we can easily to choose generate here and only wait for 1 to 10 minutes depending on the site numbers. But our AI model is very faster than the classic generation algorithm, so it might be take at least maybe 2 minutes to for the generation process. Okay, we can just wait. So if you don't need the facade, you can choose not to generate the facade. It may wait generate the process faster than it. Okay. Still. And this as XUrbanTool, we have 2 language versions, Chinese and English, both in the website. Okay, still waiting for the generation. So maybe we can choose more other parameters for the generation. Still waiting. Okay, you're still waiting. So I use the default parameters for the generation. Here we have to save the parameter first. So it's longer than it takes usually. Let me check what's going on here. Maybe the model is a little bit too big for the generation, so it takes a little. Yeah, I try to change the file. Yeah, we can change the file to use it. So the folder here. So then. Okay, we set the parameter again. Save it, and this time we don't generate the facade. And so, by the way, if you don't remember how to use this XUrbanTool, you can choose to use these useful tips. It can show you how to use it. Yeah, here. So still waiting for the generation. And okay, generated. Okay, we can waiting for the generation result, and this time we can take the charge the control over to the Wang and for the Q&A talk. Okay.
Yeah, Vanu, are we taking for Q&A? Yeah, you're on mute. You're on mute.
Sorry, can you hear me? Yes,
Yes.
that one we still need some time to generate. And
Yes, no problem.
now maybe we can start doing the QA part, and later we see how it works out.
Yeah,
Because that
I
one
think
requires, this is like an urban scale.
yes, it
takes a
happens.
while.
Yes, no problem. I think we have one question on YouTube, which maybe you can elaborate on. So, the audience is asking, is it possible to use this for other countries, or for now it's just working for China? This was long back after your presentation. So,
Actually, we have tested with some overseas friends and with the Google Translate. That one sometimes it's working. I mean, the Google Translate sometimes not. Like tonight, unfortunately, the Google Translate somehow crashed, and we have to switch to Chinese. Sorry for that. But I think for the other countries, we can still use it. Yes. I mean, the generation is the same, but just the rules are different. The regulations are different. You first need to check how it's going with your regulations in your country. If it's very similar to what we have in China, then you can directly use it.
yes. Yes, I think in Urban Generator there were rules about FAR and site planning. So that kind of allows you to expand it to your own country and your region. I would invite if any of the students who have logged in with us on Zoom would like to ask any questions. Um, if there's anyone who would like to comment or ask any questions, you can unmute yourself and just ask or raise hand, maybe. And maybe while we're waiting, it would be interesting if you can elaborate a little bit more on what are the next steps for XKool team. How are you thinking of expanding it? Are there any limitations in terms of making the software more accessible, or is it open source for now? And you would be, what are your next future plans with XKool?
This platform is now on internet. It's entirely be built on internet. So we will have the English version, the real English version soon. Yes, we will have that one. And also we have some of our tools is totally free, like the ColorMaster for the master plan. That one is totally free. And also we have a maybe at the beginning we will have the universities, the students version, education version, which is free. Yeah. And after that, we will see how's the reaction of the overseas market and see if there's other opportunity we can bring it to further step. Yeah.
Yeah. And that sounds interesting. Universities would be a good testing ground to check the compatibility of software and almost everything. Silvio is asking, have you published articles, conference papers, etc. on this technology?
Yes, we did. We have a AD article on AD last year, and this year we will have a new article on AD will be published in May. Yeah, with what we do as XKool. And if you are interested, we have a lot of articles in Chinese, which can be translated to English world as well. And we will find a proper social media to show what we have. And also you can like follow our website, and we already have the English version of the official site. And that one is we will update some information, also our latest event, also maybe some articles as well in the future. So we would like to get more, let's say, users from outside of China and help them to get rid of the heavy load the work of the manual stuff. Yeah.
Yes, I think that'll be great. I think this will be a great addition. Albert, were you asking anything? Do you want to add anything?
Sorry, from my side? Yes, please.
No, yeah, I think one of the participants has a question.
Please go ahead.
Maybe I can just ask a quick question. So yeah. Thank you, Wendy. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, team. That was great. I mean, I just want to say also that the previous question that Wendy has an article that will come out in the AD that's on machine hallucinations that Matthias Del Campo and I are editing. It'll come out in May. And I also refer to their work in my book that came out last December, a few weeks ago. Very few weeks ago. But the question I wanted to ask really was, it seems like we're developing a new kind of vocabulary in the way that we're discussing things. I was kind of interested that the word generate was really kind of a dominant word, and rather than design, you know. And I think that possibly we will start sort of developing this new kind of vocabulary to describe this new way of operating. Maybe the question was in Chinese. Maybe do you change the word you use when you start talking about the way XKool works? Certainly in English, the word generate is kind of interesting because it's a very different kind of concept to the old-fashioned notion of design, or the traditional notion of design.
Sorry, Neil, your video was voice is not really clear at the moment.
Yeah, we were not able to hear you. Yeah. So
okay, let me just hold on.
Yeah, this is better now. Yeah.
Is that better?
No, yeah. Microphone on. Sorry. Yes. No, my apologies for that. Yes. So I said that basically, Wanyu has an article coming out in the AD on AI and architecture called Machine Hallucinations that Matthias Del Campo and I are publishing in May. But there are lots of different publications in the AD. So if you look back, about 2 or 3 or so, I've also got a chapter on this in my own book as well. But what I wanted to point out was it seems like there's a kind of different sort of language or a different vocabulary that's being used for this process, you know, where the word generate is more, I didn't really hear the word design as such. And I'm just wondering whether we won't start developing a new kind of vocabulary. And I wonder in Chinese too, whether the way that you express this is a different sort of the use of terms to the traditional terms that you would use.
Yes, we have a different words for design and for generation. For design, it's more like let's say, human being involved process. And generate is more like it's growing by itself. Yeah, in Chinese scenario, it's more like that. So we also trying to separate that. Our platform called the XKool Design Cloud, which means people need to log on and control it. And some of the procedures or the functions called the generation, like AI generation or the global generation or local generation. So generation is just the one machine works, but you have to control it.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, because if you think about the way that the way we describe drawings, when CAD drawings first appeared, I mean, when I studied in the 80s, it was kind of, we were just drawing on paper with rotring pens. But when computer drawings first appeared, we specified them as computer drawings, right? And a drawing was what you assumed automatically was done by hand. But then as computer drawings became more popular, then a drawing meant a computer drawing, and you had to specify a hand drawing. So I just wonder, it's kind of interesting how tracking the way in which we use the language, and maybe the word design will come back in again, but in a very different sort of understanding of the word. Maybe there'll be a term for human design that will appear. I just find that the use of language, which is it's kind of reveals a different way of thinking, and I think it's interesting that how it's developing with these techniques. But just say thank you, Wenyu. This is a fantastic presentation, and thank you, Jackie, and thank you the rest of the team. That's really useful.
Yeah, maybe we can check back to see how it works now of the
Yes.
final X-UrbanTool. I think it's already done. Yeah.
Okay,
Please show
perfect.
it.
Okay.
Jamming.
Thank you, Neil. Yeah.
Okay, then I will share my screen. So now I can, we have a finished generation result here. You can choose, you can see here. So here we also provided some analyze tools for the user to get into further to understand their projects. So we get the global indicator here. You can see the final indicator of this project for the building density, green rate, FAR. And then we also provided several analyze tools. For example, we got the SS analyze here and all the global analyze here too. And also we can see how the project, the relationship between the project and the water area in this site. And if you double click here, you can go further for the single site plot. Here you can see the more information about this single site plot. You can analyze the functional distribution and the code tube and the landscape of this single site. Okay. And maybe you can just choose to download our your project. This download is the 3DM file. You can modify it and or maybe you can use it for the other stage of your urban design and city planning projects. So that's that's all we have in the X-UrbanTool.
Can I just ask a quick question? Can you generate multiple outcomes? I know that SpaceMaker, they talk about that you have a range of different options you can do. Is it just gives you one solution, or is there only one solution, or can it provide a range of
It's
options?
multiple solutions.
Yeah, it's a multi solution. Here you can choose. We got the other result here, but not but right now it's not open because we have to calculate the network balance. So maybe in the future, in the very short future, we will open it. You can choose the set of one global parameters, and then you can got several different types of result. And then you can choose one or the other to go further, and that's it. Yeah.
The other question was: is there a way of speeding up the process? I mean, greater GPUs or something. I'm interested by how long it takes and what are the constraints that
because you may notice the address of this one is called ARP-XKool.ai, which is a server located in our office. So it's a server we build by ourselves, and which can only have a very limited calculation power. And the one called XKool.ai, the first one Jackie showed, that one is by our Ali Cloud. I mean, the one we bought on Ali Cloud or AWS, let's say the public cloud, which has much stronger power. So that's the only difference. And the XKool Design Cloud, when you do the MasterPlanner or the BuildingCreator, both of them, they can do in multiple solutions. Neil.
Yeah, I was just struck because one of the things AlphaGo Zero was I remember reading about this, that the way it could the speed at which it would train itself using reinforcement learning, it would play 20 games of Go against itself per second, and sometimes these systems can operate in a way that we really can't even conceive. So I could imagine that in the future we won't have this sort of waiting for the thing to be generated. It'll be very, very quick. Yeah.
Yes, actually, in the Design Cloud right now, not just for the flat itself, the urban scale, the plot scale, it's already quite fast in a few minutes. But this one, X-UrbanTool, it's a platform that we are using for research. So we built it in our own server, which is slower. But as Neil also mentioned, in the future, we have the 5G or 6G, sixth generation of the network, let's say. It will be much, much faster. And we don't worry about when you do the simultaneously generation or multiple generation, it won't be an issue because in the backstage, it can do multitasks.
Yeah, I guess the real challenge will be to try and be able to well, can you move it around once you've got a model? Can you start moving things around, or does it have to regenerate each time? I mean, that would be something that you could play with, or the client could play with, moving a building once it's been generated.
Yes. Yeah, when in our XKool Design Cloud, you can edit it as whatever you want.
But instantaneously, is that possible to do it?
Yes, simultaneously, right. And in real time. Because that one is already maybe our team did not explain it, and also neither did I. The XKool Design Cloud already got over 100,000 people online. Registered as our user. So that one is a very it's not a very, but it's a mature version of our product. And the later one, the design, the XKool UrbanTool, it's more like a research tool for our inner use, and also for some like universities and the students use. And that one's, be honest, the performance is slightly limited than the Design Cloud. Yeah.
Just a further question, so I don't want to take all the questions, but everything is automatically generated as a rectangle at the moment. And is that a constraint that will continue to be there, or I guess because I'm aware of some of the projects we've done recently where you've generated more Frank Gehry-like forms, shall we say. The moment it's very much based on a rectilinear logic.
Vanu, you're on mute.
Yeah, we have did projects which is more, let's say, curvy like, but that one is a test project, and we have tested for a competition, which is open bid competition. Over 200 design institutes joined it from different countries, and we eventually got the first prize. Yeah, that one was interesting. Let me see if I can easily show it. Maybe I can just show one image from it. Wait a second. Can I share screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, sorry, this one is in Chinese right now, but I can play it. So you can see right now, and also hear the videos. It's trying to find out the best location all location and the shape of and the form of the design. It is a museum. And this museum is between mountain and a river. We trying to find out what is the best form to generate microclimate of that location. And later on, we also worked on the tiles of the facade. It contains over 30,000 different types of a triangular facade. And later we have generated with the machine learning using clustering and get to only 12 standard facade triangular pieces to realize these giant shapes. Yeah, this one we will have a later more information about it. But yeah, it's still undergoing, this project.
Maybe another question just to follow up from that, because I think I do find this particular project very, very interesting because it's optimizing, and I'm kind of thinking, well, when you look at topological optimization, so programs like Amoeba, they produce a kind of non-rectilinear form. So the next question I had was would it be possible to incorporate other softwares like or interface with, say, something like Amoeba, other softwares on the XKool platform?
You mean like we somehow linked with Amoeba like this?
Or
yes,
any of the
or any other program.
Yeah, like Ladybug, Honeybee, or environmental simulation, or even Karamba, or any of the other platforms which have been developed for, let's say, more popular Grasshopper 3D software.
Actually, I didn't hear very clearly, but if I didn't understand wrong, that you guys are asking if we can collaborate with other softwares, right? Right now, we are like, there's 3 ways to work with other softwares. First of all, we match in the formats, like with AutoCAD or the Revit. We can output and input also SketchUp and Rhino. We can upload CAD and export CAD as well, and also the DXF file, the IFC files and the SketchUp files, Rhino files. This is one way. And second way is we're using SDK because we are an online platform. We're not sure that we can directly link with one software unless there is a like plugin, because software has a different logics. You have to install something, right? And we don't have to install anything. This is the major difference. So if we have a plugin in CAD, then we can have a very good communication with CAD, and you can use it on the CAD.
I mean, just to say,
and also
I think
yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is the second way. I mean, there's a third way that we are working with other platforms. We can somehow like jump from one link to another. That is something I think possible, and we already did something in China, working with other companies' online platforms.
It strikes me
like Amoeba. If Amoeba has the online version, I mean the cloud version, we can definitely work with them. Yeah.
I mean, I think that the key question for developers and clients is going to be return on investment. So it would be return on investment. If you could have a facility for optimizing ROI, I mean that could be very popular with clients, should we say?
Yes, we can, and very easy to estimate that, and that is our major, function for the developers. Because when developers invest in one project, they have to understand what is the ROI, what is the IRR, what's their money and the timing, all those relationships. They don't want just graphics or drawings.
But can you actually optimize? Can you use a?
Yes. Yes.
You can. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I didn't, because today is a tutorial. I didn't show other like real examples. We have a let's say we have over like half of or nearly half of the top 100 real estate developers as client of ours in China. And what they need us is to do the optimization and also to do the like showing them what is the best solution onto their target land plot. For instance, there was a project which it's the same GFA as the 3.0, but there's a different total value of the schemes. The one they got was like 1.6 billion RMB, but the one we provide with the same GFA but different combination of the different building types and all locations to obey the rules, and the result is nearly 800 million more. Yeah, 800 million more than the previous version. So this is a very direct value elaboration. They can do calculation. They know how to, they know it is worth to invest or worth or to use us as a service or as a elaboration way. Yeah. This is something already happening and happen more and more here.
I think this also kind of brings a very interesting question about the time to resolve and time to create these kind of options. So typically, if that's the kind of questions that your clients or companies are having, then how much time does the office take to produce the results for them? So how long does it take for the process?
Like simultaneously. We, as a company, we already have over 200 people, let's say. And then when the client need, we can have our people go to their place and just with a laptop and sit together with the client. You want what change, tell me, and I can do it immediately for you. Yeah, this is how it works. And it's just need a few, it's not just minutes. Maybe you need like 1 or 2 hours to adjust it, but it's worth to see the results.
Yeah. That's quite interesting because then,
but sorry for today, because it's the design cloud is not entirely in English. I think some of the audience may not totally understand how it works, but with the video also you can see what you can do. And in the future, we will try to make it work in the West world.
No, I think it was actually very interesting when you could kind of glimpse the future in a way in this. One further question I have is that I guess what's interesting about the work that Core Himmelblau has been doing with Deep Himmelblau is they've been inputting their previous design into the model and things. So is there a capacity for a particular design company to input previous designs to kind of condition how the output would come out? Can it draw upon previous data sets or data of previous designs?
Yes, we can also do that. And we are doing, our clients is especially the real estate developments, they are really want to see how their previous projects can impact on their current ones. So we are building their, let's say, their inner digital, how to use that word, digital hub for the real estate developers with their hundreds of the previous projects already be built or already designed. And we do the comparison, analyzing with the previous and the current, what they do. And some of those can using for machine learning or the trainings. I want to add one more thing is why we're doing this is because of even the real estate developers, they are the big companies here, but they don't have a fully digitized, which means they have their digital files, but they're just digital files. They are not digitalized. So we are trying to turn them into another format as our own format to do the data, not just for storing, but for really for the business intelligence, which means you can analyzing it, and you can use it for the other for the further like design or decision making, and yeah, etc. To transform the different formats, let's say.
Yes, I think it's very interesting. Do we have any part from the tutorial left which you would like to cover? We can extend it for another 10 minutes if you want.
Sorry?
Do you have any part from the urban generator left to discuss with?
Oh, no, okay. It's already done. Yeah, because okay. It's like you input things and you get the result, you can download it. Yeah, that one is more direct.
Okay, perfect. So any last words from your team, anything that they would like to add, or any links to be shared with the students?
Not for our side now, but yeah, I just want to say it is our honor to be here, but sorry for the language issue. I hope at least the videos in the beginning and some of the
I think it was quite interesting. It was quite interesting. It will be good because now students have and our audience has the entire link. They can always go back and forth, and we look forward to many more updates on XKool in the future.
Yeah, we have just opened the you can use your email to register, because in mainland China you can only use your mobile to register, and we worked on it for the past 2 weeks to make the email registration possible. Yeah, just for this tutorial. So I hope you guys can get on and try.
Thank you.
No, thank you. Just one comment, Pavleen. I think that this is just a kind of this sort of feeling that I have is back in the 80s. This is a long time ago, right? I can recall I was translating Alberti in the computer science department in the University of Cambridge, and there were some very amazing things appearing at the time that were shocking, but actually they were quite crude. The very beginning of using computers for in an architectural space were happening, and I can kind of, in a way, when you think what we're doing now compared to that, it's really got very sophisticated, and I just think it's all about the future, how this is going to develop and in the future. And there's a comment that I think that Ben Bratton made, which I think is a really good comment for all these technologies, and that is to say, he says we are still in the silent movies period of computation. We are still in the silent movies period of computation. And you think about the silent movies and the kind of cars they had then, and you look at the Tesla cars that we have now, and I think it's just a matter of time. And we can see history. This is history in the making in many ways. But I think that what we'll see in 5 years' time, or 10 years' time, or even 2 years' time, it's going to be really. This is obviously something that needs to be developed and to be pushed forward. And I think it's going to get enormously sophisticated as we get further. I think some glimpse of that came in that final project that you showed us, Wanyu, which is I think suddenly just begins to sort of suggest this is not just a kind of developer logic that is really kind of, let's say, simplistic and crude, but actually could start generating something that the world of Gary or Zaha, whatever, might find of interest. And I think that's the thing I think which I think is tantalizing to when you step beyond the kind of the limited sort of box mentality and start working with and really using the tool and generating the most logical solution, because to my mind it's about logic, this essentially, and if you can
Yes.
use it to, I think that the last design was completely logical.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, the reason why we are like more using this box logical design is because we are facing the market of massive production architectures or massive production buildings, which means the residential, the office towers, the industry parks. So those are our targets. And for those targets in the future, and also right now, we are using the prefabrication design logic to do it. So our thinking is maybe the next generation of the architectural design is not just we're drawing it and we build on site, but we design it with the standardized components, and we made those components in the factory, and those factories build those products out. And those products, they are not necessarily be all the same, because with AI, we can use limited components, for instance, 100 components to build maybe thousands or over 100,000 different types of outcomes. This is what those can do. I mean, if you guys know Chinese traditional wooden buildings, those are let's say like the Forbidden City or the Summer Palace, all those Asian buildings be built with just all the same components behind it, the columns and the different wooden structures, and they made everything. So we are thinking for the massive production and the milieu, the background of the city can be done in this way in the future. And the ones by the Zaha or Frank Gehry, those iconic buildings, they can do it in their own way. It doesn't matter. But for the world's developing and urbanization, we are thinking if we can do it in a factory, it will be much more efficient than before, because we are entering a age with lacking of labors, not just Europe states, also China. So yeah, I think that is the reason why we are choosing this direction. Okay.
Just for a final comment is that when I said logic, I didn't mean just rectilinear logic, but logic itself. It seems to me that the driver of everything you're doing is kind of logic. Going back to what it was like.
Thank you. Yes.
OMA. Well, no, but it makes a lot of sense. If it is driven by logic, then it all falls into place. And yeah, no, I was so. Anyway, I just want to thank you, Wanyu. This is really.
Thank you, Neil. Really... Yeah, I hope in the future I can share more. Yeah, but for now, yeah, this is for today.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, thank you all. Thank you. Thanks to our team. Thank you. Bye.